The Los Angeles fire response is run by 4 lesbians, all by the name of Kristen. It's not a joke. There are 4 lesbians, all by the name of Kristen, that are running it's 3, not 4. 3 Kristens that run the Los Angeles fire chief. The 4th lesbian actually has another name. This is a local news report months ago of them bragging about the new leadership in the fire department and in LA County is going to be lesbian, gay, trans. Turns out when you have to fight a fire and you prioritize things that don't matter above things that do matter, don't be shocked when your city burns to a crisp. Play cut 66.
The Fire Department is launching its first ever Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Bureau. It is dedicated to ensuring a fair and equal workplace environment.
Every day, the LAFD is called upon to respond to crises, and today it is taking a step to resolve one of its own. The department's first ever Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Bureau will launch in January, 1 year since its first ever female fire chief, Kristen Crowley, was appointed.
So by creating this new bureau, our Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Bureau, now we actually have the staff to do the work when it comes to doing a deep dive in regard to how we do business, how we take care of one another in the fire stations and in our work environment.
The plan is to do so by adding training and enforcing accountability.
Was that one of the lesbian Kristens running the fire department? So can we, by the way, can we get a collage of all the lesbian Kristens? There's 3 of them. There's 4 lesbians that are running the LA Fire Department. In fact, one of the articles that was published as the fires were raging from Pride magazine, amid Palisades fire, Los Angeles' first LGBTQ plus fire chief is proving lesbians get it done. Firefighters are currently trying to stop the Pacific Palisades area fire led by lesbian fire chief Kristen Crowley. Let's keep that up on screen. I actually think Democrats believe that lesbians or gays have like some sort of magical superpower to stop fires. Like, is there some sort of innate mystical quality that those 3 Kristen lesbians have? Again, I don't care if they're lesbian or gay or straight, if they're capable. But it's obvious you don't get 3 Kristens by the name of that are lesbian to run a fire department unless you're prioritizing things that don't matter. So again, this is not a joke. This is who is running your fire response. 0% contained in the Palisades, 0% contained in Pasadena. And this is exactly what Gavin Newsom, Kamala Harris, Nancy Pelosi, and they cut the fire budget in Los Angeles by $23 million. The Los Angeles fire budget was cut, and hundreds of hydrants were stolen for scrap before the fires. The homeless get more money than the fire department. And the fire department that does get money is you got the fighting force that the lesbian community, I suppose, can put forward. And nothing against lesbians that want to fight fires. Have at it. Apparently, you're not very good at it, okay? Because you were promoted for a reason that you should not be there. So you have this kind of perfect storm of wokeism, and that is what you're seeing. Let's see more B-roll, by the way, of all the burning. What you are seeing right there is a perfect storm of wokeism. We can't take the water because of the Delta smelt. We can't clean up the brush because of the grasshoppers. We can't put out the fire because guess what? When you start to prioritize diversity and sexuality over merit, things tend to not go well. This is exactly what we have been warning about as conservatives. As conservatives, we've been warning about this for years. Hey, when a tragedy strikes, it doesn't matter how many diversity points you have. Remember Pete Buttigieg trying to figure out the flight crisis, that disaster? And what is the response from Gavin Newsom? The same thing that they'll say anytime that there is a police killing. Ooh, systemic racism. They just say climate change. Define the term, Gavin Newsom. Define the term. What do you mean by climate change exactly? Was it climate change that put the trio of lesbian Kristens in charge of the fire department? Was it climate change that decided not to capture the water and put it into a reservoir? Was it climate change that decided not to clean up the brush? Or no, instead it was the opposite. It was the cult of earth-worshiping environmentalism. Your ideology is why your people are suffering. This is a choice. This is not an act of God. It is an act of man. And Gavin Newsom, you better preserve your documents, because I sure hope that Pam Bondi and President Trump open a robust criminal investigation into Gavin Newsom and Mayor Bass, because in 10 days and 23 hours, you might be facing a very serious federal criminal investigation, because you deserve it. This is beyond gross negligence. You might be complicit for the murder and arson of your own citizens. So preserve your documents, Gavin Newsom.